Welcome to thestockmentor.com. I am your stock mentor, Brian Johnson. And another choppy sideways day today to end the week and to end the month. So, an interesting, albeit boring end to a really boring week. You can see pretty much ended right about where we started. We did not go very far this week at all. Most of it all consolidation in between the 10,600 and ultimately 10,400-ish. I think we established this line at what, guys? 10,380, 10,390, whatever. Type of a basing pattern here. So trading range of 10,600 to 10,400, not giving us any real breaks one way or the other, and leaving us kind of, once again, in a could go either way scenario coming into the weekend. Go figure. Markets love to do that. Overall, I still am remaining neutral to bullish on the markets. Why? Because that is exactly what the charts are telling me. This is not necessarily very bearish in the least bit. You need breaks back below this level before we can even start thinking about a more major move by the bears. We just have not seen it. We've had tries. We had a dip below 10,400, a dip below really kind of the 10,350 area in here, but nothing that's been substantial or that's held. This here was the dip down in the morning only to run all the way back up again. So the bulls doing a very good job of keeping it above support and not really getting a whole lot of resistance from the bears at this point. So I will remain going into next week neutral to bullish on my position. Overall, you can see what the week did, and it was really start here, blast up and over, and fall back the rest of the week. So very rough trading, not a lot to do this week from that standpoint, but keep in mind by the end of the week we did finish up and over this support line I have drawn in here on the daily. Still have to look at that for the short term anyway as bullish. Things could certainly start to move down next week. No question about it. We're coming into August, and things could really start to move next week now that we've finished the month. They can start anew. Still be looking at these levels down here. But being Friday, I'll talk to you more about that on Sunday. Being Friday, let's just discuss the fact that we didn't go anywhere this week. Looking at a NASDAQ on a 60-minute, we held the blue line, so still fine there from a bullish standpoint with a nice, easy little pullback here, coming right back into support. You see the gap down here falling into these moving averages, and look what happened. Fantastic support, and it springboarded itself back up, back above 1860, back above all the moving averages, and right back up to or above this previous support area we had been watching the last couple of days. Nothing really major going on in the NASDAQ. It did end up finishing back below the blue line. We talked about that as well. Bears are going to want to hold that, and they did. Ever so slightly, but they did. So, still stuck in between the 50 and the 20 by the end of the week. Very little trading going on with a move of about, what do we got, 66 points or so there. Not much to talk about in the NASDAQ on a weekly, top to bottom, 66 points. Not a big move. SPX on a 60 also kept itself just above 1100. But still, all consolidation in through here. Below the moving averages. And overall for the week, really nowhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 started right here at 1100, finished right here at 1100. Just not a lot of movement by the indices as we coil up for the next major move. Does it look like it would be up? You betcha it does. Absolutely it does. So I have to remain neutral, bullish on the markets until we get back below these moving averages. Then all bets are off. And the bears have a little bit of freedom here to roam down into the 1060 area. Absolutely could happen. Now we've seen these wicks on the bottom here being pulled back up by the bulls, being pulled back up by the bulls. But any more or any further hard attempts to get back below this level, I think the bears are just going to get tired, or the bulls are just going to get tired. Eventually they'll let the bears have their way if they want to keep pounding down. For the time being, nothing to be panicked about yet if you are bullish on the markets. Here we finished right in between the 20 and the 50, still working around this blue line right here. No real indication as of yet which way to go. Still looking at something above 1125 to really get bullish on the markets, but we did not see it this week. VIX on a daily was down today over 2%, so quasi confirming what we saw today. Really, guys, the fear isn't anywhere. The markets are very, very indecisive in this area about which direction things are going to go, and you can see it by the VIX. Fear pours in, pours right back out, stays steady, weeks on end. There's not a lot going on here from a fear standpoint within the markets. It rose a little bit, fell a little bit. Overall, we finished about break even on the week. Just no real direction either by the VIX. Apple on a 60 was pretty crazy. I watched it for a while today as it ran up, ran down, kind of finished at even. Very difficult trading today. Very hard to make a move in Apple today, especially with the big gaps that we've been seeing. They're falling below, then getting right back above. Support and resistance areas, hard to make a move when it does stuff like this. So Apple, once again, consolidating G, just like the rest of the market is. Here you see that little consolidation, little move up, little move down, and look at this. Over the past, 6, 7, 8 sessions, we've gone nowhere. Even Apple's in kind of a quandary right here about which direction to go overall for the week. It really has gone nowhere. From a weekly here, you can see it doing its best to hold above the 20-week moving average. This type of pattern here is very common in what we're seeing in a lot of the other tech stocks as well. And everybody's waiting on bated breath to see which way it will resolve. Now, could be that this is a sideways 4 of some sort before another pop to the upside. That is very possible in the markets, so keep that in mind. We get back below about 240 though, and I would say that is off the charts. FAS on a 60-minute, a penny. Changed a penny. So maybe if you're a quick kind of a slash and burn type trader, you might have made a little bit of money in this, but really very, very difficult trading today as we wandered our way into the end of the week and end of the month for the markets overall. You can see this in kind of its same pullback type of fashion as what we've been seeing in all the other markets. FAZ, of course, doing the same thing, nothing but consolidation straight across the board over the past week. You can see it moving nothing but sideways. By the time the markets are all said and done for the week, we go really nowhere. 1 week, 2, 3, 4. So last 4 weeks or so have been nothing but just choppy sideways action. Today, no different with the daily starting up and running right back down and through. I love to see it run up and through overhead resistance. I don't necessarily like to see it gap up above it and then quickly get right back below it. That isn't much that isn't the type of trading I typically look for when I'm looking for different plays. So, as you can see, moving sideways in FAZ. Overall for the week, nowhere in anything, guys. Ugh, what a boring week of trading. Makes it very difficult looking here on the daily. Look at this. Very, very difficult trading. Is holding some of these support areas like this one up above and the 200-day moving average, but overall, guys, very, very rough trading for the week. This is where you need to have individual stocks in your back pocket to trade when the indices aren't going anywhere. So I will be back with you again on Sunday, try to make heads or tails of this. But I will tell you that right now, have to remain neutral to bullish in the short term on these markets. And I hope you have a great weekend. It's supposed to be very hot here in South Dakota, as it always is coming into August. We are about to start the Black Hills Harley-Davidson Rally. So if any of you listening happen to be coming to the Black Hills for the Harley-Davidson Rally, please send me an email. I'd love to meet up with you or shake your hand while you're here and talk for a bit. See you guys on Sunday. Have a great one. Bye.